Hello, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Tiffany Braxton, co-founder of BlackWomenStandUp.com. You're about to listen to part 2 of my 3-part interview with Dr. Doris Higginbottom, our first Goddess Spotlight feature. So, Mom, I want to go back to, so now here you are, you're in school, you're doing your thing, you went to the community college, you had a professor that believed in you that said, no, you're going to college. But now here you are, you went through college, you got a scholarship to Texas A&M, one of the prestigious colleges of the world. So that's amazing. What motivated you? What or who was your inspiration and your motivation?
Oh my gosh, I had a good friend that an excellent person of knowledge. She came from Dallas, Texas, and she and her husband were students at Texas A&M at that time.
Wow!
And you know, I didn't tell you this, but I used to work as a custodian at Texas A&M.
Get out of here! What?
Girl, I'm trying to tell you, she got the story.
So wait, jack of all trades, doctor.
I worked as a custodian because, you know, I mean, where are you going to work without a high school diploma other than, you know, being your own boss? Or you are working. So I worked as a custodian.
Were you in college at this time now?
No. I actually talked with her, and I talked with Denise, Dr. Jones. That's what her name. That's who she is now. And she said, you know, I went to the library with her. I would go with her to the library, and I said, you know, one of these days, I would love to graduate from this university. She said, Doris, you can graduate from this university. She said, nothing is impossible.
Wow.
And sure enough, that's before I graduated from the junior college. And then, of course, once I graduated from the junior college, I went ahead. But she had moved away, but she was still my mentor.
Wow.
And let me tell you what she would do. She would tell me how to choose my classes. She said, take your degree plan. You follow it to a T. I didn't even have an advisor at the junior college until at the end, they found out I didn't have an advisor. She said, you don't have an advisor? How are you doing this? And I said, well, I'm just following the degree plan. And I said, well, and she said, well, I asked her, well, why are you calling me in the office? She said, because Texas A&M want to offer you a scholarship.
You actually put that in the universe that day when you said, I would love to graduate from here.
Wow.
You put that in the universe. The universe was conspiring to make it happen. Oh my God.
Yes. So true. It is so true. And of course, the Lord began to move about things in my life to where this will come to pass.
Yes,
and it has come to pass. And of course, like I said, it was not easy. There were times I did at the junior college. I must go back. I made an F in a history class, and I cried. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I went home and I thought, an F. You know, you can't graduate from college with an F. And the son that visited prison, he stood in my face. He's one of my avid readers. And he said, Mommy, you can do this.
Yes.
You can do this. Don't quit.
Wow. Look at that.
And I did not quit.
And
I still today. And I tell him, don't quit.
That's right. Who are some of your heroes, heroes?
Oh my gosh. Dr. Jones, of course.
Now, where's Dr. Jones today? Is she still in Texas? Is she still teaching? What is she doing?
Actually, she's the provost. Well, she resigned that, but she was provost at Drake.
Nice.
Just this 2015, she was provost of Drake, and she's teaching. She's always taught in education. Very intelligent woman.
Wow.
but very compassionate woman. Actually, I was there the day that she accepted Christ in her life.
Wow.
Wow. Wonderful.
Yes, we've been friends for years.
I love it. Real quick, I got a text that said the audio had dropped for a minute. Your audio, everyone that's listening, and if you can hear Dr. Higginbottom, please tap the hands and give us some love so we'll know that you can hear her. Say something, Dr. Higginbottom. I want to make sure they can hear your mic and that you're not. Okay, say something for me, Dr. Higginbottom.
Yes, I am so blessed and I'm honored.
Make sure they can hear you. Okay, awesome.
Honored to be here, to just share with you. If I could just sum this up in any way, I'd like to sum it up this way. There's nothing too hard for us to do with help, with the Lord, with those that He put around us. Nothing is impossible. I have young men that say, "Oh, I'm pregnant. Tell me something else." There's no reason that you cannot graduate. I want you to continue. Have young men saying, "I have children." That's more reason that you should complete.
That's right.
My thing is, nothing is too hard and nothing is impossible.
I love that. Nothing is too hard and nothing is impossible.
It's not impossible.
And if you know that, you can do anything.
It's one day at a time.
One day at a time, huh?
One day at a time. Don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow has its own evils. Just do it one day at a time. Set goals. Yes, you do. Set the short-term goals, the midway goals, long-term goals.
Yes.
Once you've completed all the goals, start all over again.
Do you write your goals down, or were you writing your goals down at that time?
I did. Yes, yes.
Were you looking at them every day?
Not every day, but the short-term ones, yes. Because that's how actually the way I work in my office. That's the way I work at the university. Short-term goals, writing them every day. What I didn't finish today, it went on. It would go on tomorrow. The midway goals, this is what I actually learned. Once you finish your short-term goals, you're halfway toward your midterm goals.
That's right.
Once you finish your midterm goals, you're halfway toward your long-term goals.
Amen.
And so I write my goals down. I cross them off as I go and add them to the next day if I didn't finish. And the next year, had I not finished. And of course, it took me a while to complete the PhD. My mother passed during that time. My mother's husband passed. My daughter-in-law, one of my son's daughters' wives passed. All of these things went on, which are very traumatic in a person's life.
Right.
But my mom said, "No, do not stop." I told her, maybe I need to put this off for a while and take care of you because she needed care around the clock. She said, "You will not." You will not.
That was the best thing she could have said to you.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. And some people say things like that, well, let me stop because it goes back to fear anyway.
Oh, of course.
So sometimes people are looking for excuses or, oh, no, I can't do this because, oh, this is happening in my life. Sometimes we look and we welcome those excuses just because we're too afraid to move forward and to keep pushing.
Yes, because it's very, very stressful.
Right.
To keep pushing when you don't know the outcome.
But that's okay because you don't have to see the whole staircase. Like you see that one, take that one step and keep going anyway.
That's right. So true. So true. And sure enough, there was some fear there. But my mom, she put her finger on it. She said, "No, ma'am. Why would you do that?" "No, you will not." So my grandchildren, which was her great-grandchildren and my children and my sister and my husband and I, we all around the clock. Even my daughter-in-law that passed away last year. We had a schedule around the clock. And she closed her eyes knowing that I was not going to quit.
Thank you, God. You kept pushing.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say to the young lady, like you said, there's someone, a 16-year-old right now who's pregnant thinking like, you know, my life is over. you know, and they may not have a support system or anyone in their ear pushing them and cheering them on. What advice or what would you say to that young lady?
I would share with her to let her know that a mistake is not who she is.
Powerful.
It's a choice. And just like we make that choice, we can make a better choice.
That's good.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Do not let a choice direct the rest of your life.
Amen. Don't let a choice direct the rest of your life.
You can do this. I want the young women and the young men to know that if we make the mistake, that doesn't mean we live the mistake.
That's right.
And choose.
Alex, write that down. We make the mistakes. That don't mean we have to live the mistake.
No, we do not have to live it.
It's not us.
A better route to go. Let's say, okay, why would I have to live like this the rest of my life? No, I'm not. I'm pregnant 9 months. Come on. I've got the rest of my life to do something with.
You hit it on the head. Pregnancy is only 9 months.
9 months.
And you can still do something in that while you're pregnant.
That's why I tell the young women, no, you're not going to drop out. You can call me. Many times I give my cell phone number out to my students.
That's dedication and commitment right there.
And I meet with my students so that I can talk with them, encourage them, and say, hey, no. Even when they need essentials for their children, we do that. My husband and I, we help students. We've made meals for students in our home. Sometimes they just need a lift up.
Yes.
Because they're doing all they can. I actually had a young lady that kept it from me. I hired her to work in my office while she was here in school, but she was from California. I never recall her name, but she's a beautiful young woman. And then eventually what she did is she sent me an email and said, I was pregnant and I had a baby. And I say, so what does that have to do with you going back to school?
She felt the shame. She was putting the shame on herself.
But guess what? We are not here to condemn. We are here to lift up. And she is in school. She didn't come back to Texas, but she's in school, taking care of her child and doing well.
Wow. Thank God you were there to say that to her and then to give her those words of wisdom, which is so important because, like I said, some people don't have anyone. No one's cheerleader. No one's pushing it.
Yeah.
No one's there.
That's right.
You can do this. Let's do this.
And I just want people to know that you can do it. You do not have to continue to live that mistake. Do not. That's a mistake. That's not you. That's a choice.
Now, I want to go back to real quick because I know it's been kind of long and I'm loving this conversation. I could just talk to you forever, but I won't keep you on the line forever. I promise, because you were so graceful and just being patient. And here we are. We're making it happen. The interviews, you're doing it, and I'm grateful to you, and I'm excited about that. Well, what I want to talk about now, just kind of going back to, you mentioned your husband, and for those who may not have heard, you were married at 16, first child at 16. You lost your husband 15 years later, but then you found someone who not only just loved you, but loved all 9 of your children who came into your life, and
21 years.
Can you just tell us, when did that start? How did that start? How did you guys meet? Because we're all about love. Black Women Stand Up is about empowering women in all areas of their lives and standing up for love.
Yes. You know, again, fear will paralyze you. Even in relationships. Well, I had people to tell me, what are you waiting on? And there, you know, of course, sometimes people can be facetious. Who do you think will marry you with 9 kids?
Wow. Well, and people were actually telling you this.
Of course, but listen to me. My children are my children. I'm who I am. I still have something to offer.
Yes.
And I need people to know that you always have something to offer. I'm not just a mother. I'm a woman, and I happen to be a woman of color.
Mm.
And
A beautiful woman of color.
I have an intellect.
Yeah.
And actually a friend introduced me to my husband, this husband.
You said a friend?
A friend. Isn't that wonderful? She
the power of friends. Oh, yes.
Yes. She actually talked to me about him, and later, a year or so later, I saw him when she talked to me about him. But a year or so later, I actually had an opportunity to talk with him. He was single by himself then.
Did he have children?
Yes, two children.
Nice.
He has two children, and of course we have a blended family. So that means it's not just 9; it's 11.
Yes, he accepted.
As a matter of fact,
he accepted his children.
The youngest son, which is his son, was here, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to be doing an interview. Don't want to hear your voice in that room."
Did he leave? Was he still there?
He was over visiting, but
that's nice.
We have 11. But my husband, what I love about him is when we began to date and get to build a relationship with each other. He was such a gentleman and so respectful. His mother, I say kudos to his mother. She passed away the first, like the second month we started dating, she passed away. But that woman did an excellent job because he is a man of honor and respect. And I had a fear. I have to tell you.
Thinking about your husband got you all losing track of thoughts.
I had a fear with, what would I say to a man? I've been a widow for 21 years.
Right.
What would I say?
You didn't date within that 21 years? You didn't date?
Once or twice. That was it. They were not it.
Right.
I did not. I went to school, took care of my kids, cared for people that needed care for.
That's right.
My children and I, we used to make meals and take to the shut-ins, people in the community. I carried my kids to the rest home with me as I ministered to those that were there. So I had a very active life.
Okay.
And I did get lonely. I did. But this man was different from any other around.
Did you always know that you would, like you said, you kind of dated, but not a lot.
Yes.
Got lonely sometimes, but you still was going forth, moving forward with life, doing great things, active in the community, had your children there, teaching them and showing them what to do and
what not to do.
Right. Did you always in the back of your mind, know that, I'm going to find love again? Did you believe that in your heart? Did you keep it in your heart?
I actually I wrote that down as well. I had a list of what I wanted in a man.
Hey.
And I didn't want to veer from that. The only thing that I didn't get was the white Stetson hat.
See, you can buy him that. Once you get him, you can buy him the hat.
There you go. Yeah.
Buy him the white Stetson hat.
A man that loved God, a man that would love me, respect me, that was not lazy. I did not want to be lazy. This man is very educated. But he's a hard worker. He works, and he's compassionate toward others. I love that about my husband. He's a word man. He loved the word, and he loves me. Now, I must say that. It's like my husband still dates me. He brings me flowers. I'm one of those girls that like flowers. I love diamonds.
Ooh.
He brings diamonds.
Yes, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yes. And I'm telling you, I love them. I love them on my ears. I love them on my
Go,
fingers.
Mom, Dr.
Yes. And he does that. My husband is, he's a man that teaches his daughters. He teach our daughters that they have choices.
Yes.
And he teach them to choose well. Don't just take anything that comes up. Choose well. And I'll share this. We decided we'd do this as a mom and a dad, but my husband my husband actually is the one that thought of it, and we agreed on it. He bought all 5 of our daughters a string of real pearls, and we invited them to go to dinner with us, and we gave them their pearls.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
And
not only pearls. not only pearls, girlfriend. They gave us a certificate from mother and dad about them being our parent, letting us know that they were open for any advice that we may have. It was their desire to be the best parents that they could be. Dad wanted us to know that they have open door, rule. And if we ever have any questions or anything, that we could always come to them. I mean, he is a blessing. Wow. He accepted all 9 of us and 23 grandkids. Wow. Mom forgot to say that part.
I love it. Mr. said, what about a man who brings home a side of beef for his wife to cook? I want back rubs after a hard day of work.
And then somebody asked that.
Being silly, probably. Well, is that a real question, Mr.
No, that's okay. Because guess what? If he brings home a side of beef for his wife to cook, I will encourage him to help me cook it.
There it is. You hear that, Mr. 1971?
Yes, I will encourage him to help me cook it. We would cut off what we're going to cook and put the other in the freezer for later. But my husband would fire up the grill and I would help him as he helped me cook it. How about that?
I love it. That's right. That's what a real woman does.
That's right. And my husband never requires me to do all the cleaning and the cooking. No. While I got kind of out of sync while I was doing this PhD, because he did most of the cooking, the washing, and the cleaning.
That's what a real man is not afraid to step up and do housework. It's a partnership.
It's truly a part. We do have a covenant. My husband and I have a covenant relationship.
I love it.
We do have that, and I am very grateful for that. And that's if at all possible, that's something that I would encourage young men and young women to do, is have covenant relationships to where it's not so easily broken. Because we're going to have differences.
Right.
He's not perfect, neither am I. We work with each other.
Nice. How long did you date before you got married? Like, how long did you guys date before he popped the question?
Girl, 6 months.
Wow. So how old were you how old were you, if you don't mind, when you got married to your second husband?
I was 50.
Oh, you get help.
Because
Yes,
that's right.
No, I love it. Again.
See, I had been a widow for 21. 21 years. I was 30 when my first husband passed.
Wow.
And yes, but age is a number.
So they say when you're older, you know what you want. So when you know what you want, you don't have to sit there and when you met him, y'all knew that y'all both wanted love. Like, were you afraid? Because, sometimes I just have to say this because, as women, you meet a guy or whatever and you're talking to him. And sometimes we're afraid to say, oh, this is what I want. This is what I stand for, because you think you're going to scare them off. Like, what did you say? Like, listen, I want to be married. Did you say anything about marriage? Because sometimes, as women, we're afraid to bring it up.
No, I'm not afraid to bring it up. I will say this: when he started asking me, the first time he asked me to go out to lunch with him, I did I really didn't want to do that because, you know, sometimes you're afraid of love, and, you know, you spend time with people, and of course you may begin to care for them.
Right.
But I took this opportunity to go to lunch with him, and I told him that, listen, I'll pay for my lunch and you can pay for yours. Well, when we sat in the restaurant, he said to me, this is disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I invite you to lunch and you want to pay for your own lunch.
A real man.
So I thought, oh my gosh. And so I did back up, and I said, well, okay, that's no problem. And after lunch, we walked. We just walked and talked. He said, do you have time? Yes, I can walk. And we walked and talked. And that changed what I thought. What will I say to a man? Of course, that was my fear.
Uh-huh.
What do I say to a man?
Mm-hmm.
He was so easy to speak to. He listened to every word. He knew the things that I liked.
Yes.
He wanted to know, what do you want to do? He one date was as simple as going to Dairy Queen for an ice cream. Wasn't that wonderful?
People don't even understand how wonderful those simple things can be. I know, seriously. And some women are not, I mean, like a real woman is not looking. I mean, of course, we love the beautiful things and we love to be wined and dined and all that, but we love those simple things just as much. Like a walk, a talk, to knowing that someone is listening and actually paying attention.
Yes. And everything he kept it, as the scripture says about Mary, she pondered that thing in her heart. The things that I shared with him, he pondered those things, kept those things, hid those things away in his heart. And he would bring them back to me. He would say, you know, you said you wanted to go, you like this. And how about that? I set us up. Are you free? Let's go to the symphony at the university this weekend. Would you like to do that? Or where would you like to travel? He carried me to this big, beautiful map in this town, and it had all of these beautiful towns drawn on them.
Wow.
Even, what do you say, in the islands. And he said, have you ever been to this island? Have you ever been to this place? No, I've not been to this. Martinique. He said, I want you to go there. I want to take you there.
Look at
and
that.
Flown and gone here and there. My husband is a man of honor and a man of valor.
One of our gentlemen that's listening in, he asked, does age matter in dating? I don't know if he's just asking that in general, or are you asking that to Dr. Higginbottom? That's at Scree IV. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right. His question was, does age matter in dating?
No.
Both of us. He's asking.
Now, let me see if I understand. Are you asking if it matters if you're the same age, or does it matter how old you are if you date?
Did you hear that? She wants to know, are you asking, you know, does it matter what age you date? I'm sorry, I'm screwing it all up.
That's okay.
But I want us to definitely answer this. I mean, for me, how old the person is. He's saying how old the person is.
No, it does not. Can people still have fun when they get older? Yes, you can.
That's right.
Can you walk? If you can't walk, use a walking stick.
Ooh, powerful.
If you still can't walk, go in a wheelchair.
Ooh.
Enjoy life. Life is beautiful. It's all about what you think.
Yeah.
Don't let other people rain on your parade.
Thank you.
Define who you are and what you should be doing. I enjoy life, even now. Let me tell you, my husband and I play basketball against our children.
I love it. Now, look at that.
I put my hair in a ponytail, I put on my tennis shoes, and we still do those wonderful things.
And that's what it's about. Thank you, Dr. Higginbottom, because it's about, you know, you're only as old as you feel.
And guess what? It's just a number.
That's right.
There's a little girl and a little boy in every one of us.
Yes.
We just grew up on the outside, but the little boy and the little girl, they're in us. Am I mature? Yes, I'm mature. Sometimes my husband say, okay, dear, let's not be too serious. But there's a little girl and a little boy in all of us.
Yes.
Laughter is so important. He still tell these corny jokes, and I still laugh at them. And sometimes I try to tell jokes. He said, I believe that was a joke. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But don't let age stop anything.
Yeah. Sometimes we take ourselves too serious. People take themselves too serious. I mean, it's so important to laugh. Just live, love, and laugh. Laughter is so important. Being able to
Laughter is healing in us.
Yeah.
Laughter is like medicine.
Thank you for tuning in. You've just listened to part 2 of our 3-part interview with Dr. Doris Higginbottom, our first Goddess Spotlight feature. You can tune in this Friday to catch the 3rd part and final part of our interview. Thank you for joining BlackWomenStandsUp.com. Peace and love. Stand up. Too many black